Hey, it's Jordan. What is the deeper meaning behind suicidal ideation? I wish someone had offered me this perspective when I was going through it. Maybe it would have saved me some time and made the road a little more smooth. But regardless, here we are. If you are feeling some type of way, please reach out, talk to somebody. And I also just recorded how I rose above waking up depressed and suicidal. There's a technique I offer on there that maybe can help you feel better. But that is more the how to. This is more the why. So, why do we want to kill ourselves? Well, from a soul's perspective, you can't die. There is no death. Yes, your body can die. Yes, your mind can die. But the soul lives on. And how can I prove this to you? I can't really prove this to you, but I can only offer you my perspective and experience having left my body, having out-of-body experiences. I know that I am perfectly fine as a consciousness flying through the astral realms, and I don't need my body to be alive. So why do we feel this way? I asked my soul for some insight onto this. Why do we idolize suicide? Why do we dream about it? And I was offered the symbol of a split in the road. These feelings are a sign that you need to take an exit and begin on a new way of being, a new way of seeing. You know how you're driving down the highway and you see a sign that says this is the exit. You can keep going on the path that you're going, or you can take a turn, go off this way. When you're feeling this way, it is a sign that you need to change how you're looking at the world, your future, your present, and your past. And you can transform who you are as a person, regardless of all the things that we can go through in this life. From the personality perspective, from the person's perspective, it can be very daunting and overwhelming. Especially creating change from that level is very difficult. What is it? Albert Einstein that said, you can't solve a problem from the same level that how's that saying go? You can't solve a problem from the same perspective that caused it. Something along those lines. But basically, if you're at your personality perspective and you're trying to change your personality, it's going to be very difficult. But what you can do is find this higher perspective, which is available to everyone, that's inside your heart. That is the consciousness that witnesses who you are. So instead of saying, I am Jordan experiencing the universe, flip that and say, I am the universe experiencing Jordan. This is a complete 180. This is a complete shift in how we are viewing our current situation and experience. When we can tap into that higher perspective, that soul consciousness, then we can affect great change on our person. It doesn't feel so heavy. We don't feel so stuck. We don't get identified with all these attributes that we think that we are. We limit ourselves. And I know it can be hard to create change. I know in my own life, oftentimes we have to find rock bottom before we really make those foundational changes into who we are. Don't necessarily have to. We can go for our dreams and we can create shift in that sense. But it's also sometimes everything needs to fall apart and everything we thought that we once were needs to disappear. and we might need to suffer for a while. And there is no technique to get through the ultimate suffering that can occur. I know, I've been there. And looking back, I can laugh and see that, yeah, there was nothing I could do. But in the moment, I wasn't able to make videos like this. I wasn't able to put myself out there. I just shrunk back into a cocoon. And you know how a caterpillar makes its cocoon, and then the inside of the caterpillar just has to turn to mush? That's what it felt like. I felt like I just turned to mush. There was no identification. There was no attachments anymore. There was no thinking that I was going to continue on the path that I was on. It was an offshoot, an off-ramp. You need to change what you're doing, who you are, who you think you are, on a foundational level. And it really came down to, you need to change how you're being, how you're seeing. That's why you think you want to kill yourself, and in a sense, you can't die. So what your soul is really begging you to do is to change who you are. Change your attachments and your identities. And really, to do that, you have to dive into your shadows. You have to embrace all these aspects that you don't necessarily want to look at. But really creating that shift from thinking, I am this person experiencing this world, this universe. Try thinking, I am this universe experiencing this person. Then all these blocks and all these walls that we build up, we see them for what they are. They're our own creation. We built those walls, we built those blocks. And the same way we can build them is the same way we can tear them down, and we can start fresh, we can start anew. Because there is this heart space where the material and the spiritual meet in your heart, that it's not affected by the world. You can cut it, throw dirt on it, you can starve it, you can torture it, all the things that we can do to another person or do to ourselves even. It's still untouchable. It abides in another plane, another dimension. And when you experience that for yourself firsthand, there's no denying it. There's no denying that there is this mystical quality that is the center of your being. You can try and hold your breath and stop breathing, and your heart is still going to continue beating. There is a life force within you that cares for you, that cares for the world, that wants you to be prosperous and abundant and loving and kind. And you just have to find that for yourself. All I can do is point you in the directions that helped me. But ultimately, you have to walk through those doors. You have to create that change in your life. And if you would like a consultation on what that looks like for you, for your story, I offer one-on-one calls. You can book on my website. Otherwise, I love you. Have a great day. Ciao.